Hey, it's Mike O'Dowd, and today I'm going to be testing 3 of the coolest shotguns out right now. A traditional pump, it's kind of like the baseline, going over a Bullpup of the TS12, the Tavor IWI, and then as well the Genesis Arms, Dracaris, the Terran Tactical Dracaris shotgun. They're 3 very, very different platforms, and what I want to find out is which one is the best for a home defense scenario. And how we're going to break this down is inside the house, I have loved ones and I have to go rescue them. There's going to be threats and hostiles, and I have to clear the house and get to the loved ones and rescue them, hopefully using each one of these. And I'm going to let you know which ones I think are the best and compare and contrast the pros and the cons. Most of the videos I've talked about with shotguns, I've explained how my love for pumps is there because it's manually driven. It's something that, you know, you have to train obviously for the muscle memory, but it doesn't fail. And, you know, even when there's jams, you can rack them out pretty quickly and fix them quite well. They're dependable, they're reliable, but there's these other new designs that are coming out, and it's like, okay, what is better? Is it better? This Tavor 12, right? I've shot this a few times. It has 3 separate tube chambers that rotate. So instead of you know, a shotgun that has maybe 8 rounds or 6 rounds, you know, give or take a few, this thing is going to have 15 full-size shells, 5 in each tube. That's a lot of firepower, and they're full size. You could go, you know, even more if you did half-size shells. So it's a really cool option if you want to throw down a whole lot of ammo without having to reload. The problem is, you know, I can already tell you, is the reloading itself. This is not something that's easy or quick to reload. And then we go over to, you know, this newer Genesis Arms. This thing is bad to the bone. I've played around with it a little bit, and I've seen people shoot this quite a bit. This is the Terran Tactical version, so it's got a longer barrel and it's got some flare on it. But really, it's your standard AR-15 platform. So it's something, you know, I know very well. I've got the muscle memory, and it's proven in combat. It's proven in room clearing. So this is something like right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, this is a really cool go-to. Especially if you train with an AR quite frequently. And it comes with 10-round magazines, but it also comes with base plates where you can extend those magazines, and you can even get higher drum magazines, so you can have, you know, 12, 15 rounds in a shotgun, and then when it's time to reload, you could reload exceptionally quick, you know, just as fast as your normal AR mag change. So this is a really cool technological advance, but what I want to see is, does it matter? When you're clearing your house and you have to go room to room, is there a technological advancement in any of these guns that actually makes sense? Or does it make it better or worse? Or does it matter at all? Like, is your standard pump just like totally fine and you don't need to go with anything else? So that's what I'm going to find out today. Inside, I have one of my loved ones that I have to go rescue. So I'm going to go clear the house room by room, getting to the rescue of my loved one. Anytime there's a red filled liquid water jug, that's a target, that's a threat, that's what I gotta shoot and neutralize. We're gonna go through dynamically because I gotta get quickly over to my loved one. And every shotgun that I use, I'm gonna use it in the state that I would store it in my bedroom. So I'm not carrying extra mags, I'm not running caddies, I'm not like carrying extra gear. It's just the shotgun as it would be stored normally. So no extra bells and whistles. Wish me luck. Hey, I'm pausing the video right now to let you know about a free giveaway that USCCA has going on right now. Check out the link below for all the details, and let's get back to the video. Let's go. Come with me if you want to live. All right, so that went pretty well. Let's talk about the pros and cons of this shotgun going through. The pro, very easy to hit. Not even looking through the sights, just aim the barrel, it's gonna hit. The targets are completely destroyed, like huge impacts. And I don't feel like I have to shoot a whole lot. Cons, it's long, it's incredibly long. I would walk into a room and I would have to choke it way back, present. My barrel's almost touching the other side of the room, so it's quite long. It is challenging, but once you learn how to manipulate these things, it gets a little bit easier, okay? But that's through training. And then the last thing is, because it's a pump, you always got to train that pump action, because in a traumatic event, your head's going to go crazy. You're not going to remember anything somebody taught you on the range. You're only going to remember your muscle memory. That's why it's really important to train if you're going to run this thing. All right, now I'm going to run this with the Genesis Arms Dracaris Deterrent Tactical gun from John Wick 4. See how this thing runs. All right. Woo, that was a good one. So I had to walk in, engage somebody in the hallway. I took 2 shots. This is a brand new gun, keep in mind, brand new gun. So I go into the second room and click. It didn't extract, so I tap rack. And that was the coolest thing about this whole thing, was I was able to use the muscle memory I had of the AR-15. I'm really happy this is on camera. I hope we got it. Gun goes click instead of bang. I don't have to rack the shell or figure out how to work the shotgun. I just go into muscle memory, hit the magazine, rack the round out, and then I fire and engage. Fred was taken down. Came through here, saw the hostage, had to take the hostage shot, but with this long barrel and the tight choke, I mean, precision rounds at that distance. It wasn't something where I had to worry about spray. So that was really cool. Secure the hostage in the corner, go clear that last room, and we were done. I really like this thing. The recoil on it is damn near non-existent for a combination of, you know, the buttstock, the big like cushion pad on the buttstock, plus the big spring that goes through with the buffer tube of your AR-15. This thing is dramatic. There was no kick. Loved it. I felt like I could repeat and repeat and repeat on the same target. Huge fan. Worlds of innovation with this Genesis Arm shotgun. Yeah, can't speak highly enough. Now I'm going to try it with the Tavor 12. It's the IWI Tavor. This thing is really unique. It's not something I have a lot of muscle memory with. It's a Bullpup design, but it's got 3 tubes that rotate. So after I shoot 5 shots, I just rotate the tube, pressing this button here, and I have another 5 and then another 5. So it's a really cool gun. Not a gun you're going to be reloading in the field, most likely, or at least on the fly. But you have 15 shots guaranteed. That's really cool. Plus, if you use, you know, smaller shells, you can do even more. Let's do it. All right, so for the 3rd consecutive time, we have defeated our nation's enemies and protected the hostage. This time with the Tavor 12. What I really liked about this was the compact design. It felt really nice having the gun right here, buttstock right here, just really short. I didn't feel like I had to choke up very much. I was going high ready through the doors, but I didn't feel like I had this long barrel extending. It was very compact. This gun is a hoss. It's loud. It feels much more powerful, which it's not, but you feel the power of the kick. And that's something that, for rapid fire is a little bit more challenging. I found myself here on the pairs. It was a little bit harder to control. What I don't like about the gun is it's like this plastic, like just this polymer mold. It's not really ergonomic, and it's kind of a strange design, not very intuitive, but something I really loved was the tubes. I shot my 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I pressed this front button here, rotated, and another 5 right away. The downside is you have to click, hear it go empty, and then know you're empty unless you're counting rounds, which under stress people aren't doing that. So you have to press after you hear it go empty. So there is kind of a time delay. It's not seamless, but so none of the other ones were as well. So this is a really cool option for home defense. A lot of rounds, not something necessarily that I would be carrying for sustained as like my primary weapon maybe, but at home defense, 15 shells. This thing is a workhorse. This is a really cheap optic we have on, probably, I think it's like an Amazon, and it worked just fine. I didn't have to line up my sights really. I just like put the red dots somewhere in the area of the target and it just destroyed it. So all in all, I think this is a really good option, but something you really want to train and get muscle memory, because it's not like anything else on the market, and you're not going to have muscle memory from prior use of other guns. All right, so to summarize the 3 different experiences with these shotguns, I have to say my #1 choice is going to go for that Genesis Arms Terran Tactical J Carries model, because even though it's a long barrel and the buttstock makes it for like a more challenging manipulation around doorways and spaces, the rapid fire, the accuracy, and the muscle memory from prior experience, being an expert on rifle and specifically AR platforms, that's hands down my top pick. I also really loved about it that I had 10 or more rounds just consecutively back to back, no changing. And then I think my #2 is going to go pump action. Pump action for me it's just something that I've trained longer than most. And I'm always going to go with old trusty, pump action, or if you really want to go semi-auto, that's fine too. Just a low risk of jams. It's a really reliable gun, something that I always go to. And then thirdly, not that I'm knocking it, but compared to the other 2, I would put it in 3rd place, the Tavor TS12. That is a really cool option. Definitely glad I own that thing, and something I would absolutely use for home defense purposes. And then all you have to do is take this scenario, pick which gun you want to use, and then also pick which ammunition you want to use. For this drill, we're doing birdshot because we're in a house that requires frangible rounds and rounds that aren't going to like projectile through. You have to decide for you what's best. We've done a lot of video on projectiles, and buckshot is always my preferred method of like an all-around workhorse for shotguns. But birdshot is a phenomenal option for really close range. It does have lethal capability, especially at close ranges. Something you're probably going to want to avoid is a slug. Slugs don't really have a purpose in home defense as much. Maybe if you wanted to have like a breaching capability or punch out some scenario that I can't even think of at the moment, but buckshot's going to be my go-to, birdshot second. And then I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section. One hotly debated topic: which munition do you want to use, buckshot or bird or something else? And then which of the 3 shotguns you saw today would you pick? I have a feeling I know the answer, but I'd love to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments section. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. And remember, continue training, because that's how we move forward and that's how we progress.